This podcast is brought to you by Carvana. Got a car to sell but no time to waste? Hop on to Carvana.com to get a real offer for your car in seconds. All you have to do is enter your license plate, answer a few quick questions, and if you accept the offer, Carvana will pay you as soon as you hand the keys over. They even offer same-day pickup in many cities. Save your time, score some cash, and sell your car the convenient way to Carvana. Pickup times vary. Fees may apply.
You don't technically need this car. You say that out loud to yourself. You say, I have no space. You say, I'm just looking. Then you click. Then you zoom in on photo number 87 and whisper, oh no. Then you text a friend, the one who always enables you. You say to yourself, this is the last one, knowing it is not. You don't need this car. But maybe, just maybe, this car needs you. Bring a trailer. It's never just a car.
Today on The Next Move, presented by Coach Portal, we're talking about how to grow, learn, and develop as a P4 student assistant, so you're ready for what comes next. Before we get into it, if you haven't already, sign up for your 6-month free trial at Coach Portal. Upload your resume, highlight your experiences, and connect with programs across the country. Visit coach-portal.com, enter the code CCPodcast, and make your next move. On today's episode, we sit down with Oklahoma student coach Jacob McDaniel. He's going to share his insight into how he's approached this and looks at this as an opportunity to grow in the professions. So Jacob, thanks for joining us today.
Absolutely. I appreciate you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
So you have some experience before you got to Oklahoma. Just give us a little bit of your background of the things you've done up to this point.
Yeah. So right out of high school, I joined the Army, spent 3 years in the Army. Once I got out of the Army, I decided that I wanted to pursue coaching. So I took off and found a school in Kansas, Butler JUCO. They brought me on, learned a heck of a lot there, and then met some people and got the opportunity to come to the University of Oklahoma.
So today, we're going to get into some of the things that you feel are important for a student assistant to be able to set themselves apart. You do have a huge opportunity, especially if you can get to be an assistant at a P4 program. So what's your approach?
I think to set yourself apart, you have to show consistency and reliability every day. Show up willing to learn and willing to work and ready to shoulder some responsibility. At times, actively be looking for work. Be willing to ask analysts and coaches if there's anything that you can do to help them or if there's anything that they need. And then once you get that opportunity to help them, just do your best, whether that's making a cut up, building grade sheets, building a self-scout report. Make it something that you're proud to put your name on when you get done with it. I think it's crucial to acknowledge every day that the job is a tremendous opportunity and you need to be right where your feet are at. Focus on doing something every day that makes you 1% better as a coach. Pay attention to the coaches that are there in the program and their styles of coaching. Pay attention to how the players react to those coaches. Watch tape constantly. Figure out how certain concepts work. Figure out what the strong points of those concepts are, figure out what the weak points are. Take notes daily, whether you're listening to a coach's thought process on game plan or taking time to write down something that better helps you fully understand the concepts that fit into the scheme of the offense or the defense. Make sure you're taking in all the information you can while you're there and capitalizing on that opportunity. From the time you get there to the time you leave, I think it's important to be building relationships within the program, not just on your side of the ball or within the coaching staff, but talk to everyone, learn how things are done within the program. Spend time talking to player personnel, recruiting, spend time talking to operations, really get an idea of how everything works at every level of the program and realize that there's a reason for how things are done and every part of that organization is important. Become proficient at task, learn how to draw scout cards, learn how to build templates for reports, learn how to build self-scout reports, learn how to do it where you're not having to spend your entire evening just on one thing, but learn how to optimize your time.
Jacob, I think those are some solid suggestions here. And if a coach is in a student position job right now, I think writing those down and having a checklist of how you can do those and constantly reminding yourself, because that will help you build that relationship, that will start to show your value to a program. And a coach, when he moves along, he's going to remember you and look you up and see what you're doing, whether that's being a graduate assistant or cracking into the college level at some point. Would love to hear some things that have helped you grow the most as you've approached your position as a student assistant.
Yeah, I'd say spending time with the guys that have experience in the system, whether that's another student assistant that's been there, or an analyst that's willing to take time to answer your questions. I've been fortunate enough to have guys that poured into me and helped me a lot. My first year at Oklahoma, there was a student assistant who really helped me understand what it meant to do this job at a high level. And ever since then, the relationships I built with the guys on staff, I know if there's anything that I need help with or anything that I'm unsure about, that they're going to guide me in the right direction.
From your perspective, what do student assistants often overlook that is really important to their development?
Yeah, I think a lot of guys get locked into their specific responsibilities and overlook the bigger picture. Not fully recognizing that they are building the foundation as a football coach. And that means diving deeper to understand the ins and outs of not only their position group, but taking the initiative to study the overall scheme and how other position groups operate and how everything kind of connects. When a player or one of the guys on staff ask a question, you want to be the person who doesn't just know their piece of the puzzle, but the entire picture. So when you give them an answer, you can really give them a comprehensive answer as to what's going on.
What advice would you give to somebody who's stepping into this role for the first time this fall?
Yeah, I'd say become great at time management. Dedicate yourself to becoming organized. You'll learn very quickly that a lot of the best coaches are the most organized and the most structured in their day-to-day routines. There's only so many hours in the day, and there's always something that needs to be done. If you're going to work in a building full of elite coaches, you better start building the habits like them as well. Build yourself a schedule and have the discipline to stick to it. I think it's also important to build the mindset. Know your place, but own your role. You wear two hats. One says student, the other says coach. So every action, every interaction, you need to conduct yourself as a professional. This isn't just some summer job. It's a demanding environment with a lot of hours. And if you do it at a high level, it could help set up your career.
Jacob, great stuff, great points and advice. I appreciate you taking the time here on The Next Move.
Hey, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me. It was awesome.
Student assistants at the P4 level are tomorrow's coaches and leaders. The habits you build now will shape your entire career. Make sure your resume and story are visible to staffs looking for young talent. Sign up today at Coach Portal for your free 6-month trial and take your next big step. Visit coach-portal.com and enter the code CCPodcast and make your next move.